implying here? Are you implying here? Let me ask the question, Chris. Are you implying here that we should be hearing how bad the standard of the Premier League is? Because last time I looked, Leicester, who are fighting relegation, are still in the Champions League, and Man City, who got to the semi-finals finishing fourth last year, are still in the Champions League.
Can you? No, you've got. No, I have a right to reply, but can you get the translator, or maybe get Goughy to translate for you? All I simply was saying from the tweet, listen carefully, that in recent years, English teams have underperformed with all the resources at their disposal, Adrian. Do you understand that? So then, therefore, you can't go off on your own tangents and misrepresent what I tweeted.
But you're clearly referring to Arsenal's 10-2 defeat. You're clearly referring to that and using that.
Underachieved.
No, hang on. You haven't talked about previous years.
You tried to claim yesterday that Arsenal aren't a representative of the Premier League. Are you mad?
That's not what I said at all. That isn't what I said at all. It's not what I said at all.
No, you did say that. And
I said they are representative of the Premier League, but so too are Man City and Leicester, who are still in the Champions League.
Big thing on the television this morning, fake news. It was fake news what you said yesterday. You misquoted.
Well, which bit?
Misrepresented.
Which bit? Because it went on for about 9 minutes.
Well, I've just told you, you lied. Listen, I'm calling you a liar.
It's okay saying you lied, but you haven't backed that up. I mean, I could sue you if I wanted to. So what bit is a lie? Chris, hold on. I know your dentist uses scaffolding, but just hold on a second, Chris. You said if a Scottish team had lost and humiliated 10-2. Now, that's a clear reference to Arsenal. They were humiliated. It was 10-2 and they lost. So therefore, that's a clear reference to Arsenal. We'd be hearing how bad the standard of the league is. There's nothing to do with what happened years ago. You're clearly referring to Arsenal's defeat. No. What I've done is talked about the state Arsenal are in at the moment, which is they're in poor form. The manager is under massive pressure. They've not been winning games. They've just lost at home to Watford.
Adrian, as you do, and, sometimes you're quite factual. You've assumed, and I heard Goughy's, what did Goughy say yesterday? That it was the best head's gone. What, the best lie, Goughy? I mean, you two are like Roger De Courcy and Nookie there. I mean, it's embarrassing. You're a lapdog. You're not his puppet, Goughy. I admired you as a sportsman, but you're like a puppet sitting there yesterday.
Chris, you're shouting a lot of personal... Chris, you're shouting a lot of personal stuff, which is, I know it's what you do, it's your MO, but without any substance to it.
Quote me, Adrian.
You're wasting time. You wanted a right to reply, and all you're doing is shouting abuse at me and Darren Gough.
Well,
can we have some substance to it? Because I'll tell you what, let's get to the conclusion that I drew. See if you can get some sense out of you here. So my view was the English Premier League is not the best, but it is the most exciting and generally the most competitive. Leicester, who finished 14th, won the title. Chelsea, mid-table last season, going to win the title this season. Scottish football is in crisis. Celtic's success this season is great for Celtic, but not healthy for Scottish football. Too many heads in sand. Next year it'll be 20 years since Scotland last went to a major tournament. Sutton should turn his attention to that rather than just trying to impress Celtic fans by saying ludicrous stuff like the Premier League in England has the same problems as the Scottish Premiership. And also trying to impress people north of the border just by shouting at an ex-England cricketer and shouting abuse. What's the point of that?
To be fair, Chris, I had no interest in your tweet, Chris. I have no interest in what you say, mate, so it didn't bother me. So I'm not a lapdog. By the way, mate, I'm not a lapdog for anywhere, mate. I've never have been and never will be. So I have my own opinions. I'm an opinionated person, same as you are, right? I'm nobody's lapdog, mate. Let me tell you that. That's one thing I'm not.
Can I just say this, Adrian?